Today we're going to talk about M.A.S.K. M.A.S.K, Mobile Armored Strike Kommand, was one of the coolest toys of the 80s. I remember going to the store and seeing that this whole new world had been created. Riding around next to you could be a Camaro that actually had gull wings that would flip up and turn into wings and fly right away and drop a bomb on the vehicle right next to you. And this was just one of the coolest things ever. I was an obsessive M.A.S.K fan, and now that the loyal subjects have just re-released new versions of the original Year 1 M.A.S.K toys, I thought it would be a good time to rank every M.A.S.K toy starting with Year 1. Being a massive toy fan from the 80s, I've got to say I loved it all. I was into He-Man and Visionaries and you know, Power Lords and Sectors But my second love, I would say, you know, obsessed with G.I. Joe, clearly. My second love would be M.A.S.K, my second favorite. I don't think it's the second best. I did a ranking of the 50 greatest action figure lines of the 80s, and in that ranking, it doesn't make number 2. I understand that it's not. It doesn't have the power, the breadth, the staying power, something like Transformers or He-Man. It was more personally for me, it was the one that was most exciting to me, the most fun. I don't know about you. You let me know in the comments below what your M.A.S.K was like. It was not like the cartoon for me. For me, they were much more of a secret spy organization, much closer to the Spy Hunter video game than the cartoon, where you know, they really were like Among Us, like hiding. And, you know, Venom was pulling crazy shit. They weren't like trying to get like lost artifact like they do in the cartoon. They were like criminals and terrorists. And Matt Tracker was there to stop them. He was more badass in my version. I guess that's basically true of all of these things. The cartoon is always a sanitized, kind of lame version of what is a really awesome story that's violent and bloody and horrifying and full of car crashes and mangled bodies and death and destruction. And for me, that is what M.A.S.K was. It's just perfect for that. It's perfect to create that Death Race 2000 feel of just vehicles going at it, destroying each other, trying to kill each other. So fun. What a great concept. Bring it back. Make a movie. But you'll f it up, so don't make a movie. But I would love to see a good M.A.S.K movie. I do these rankings all the time for G.I. Joe. Sometimes I do them for other toy lines. Let me know in the comments below if there's another toy line you want me to rank, or, you know, if you want me to keep on going with M.A.S.K. But let's get into it. This is my opinion of what is the worst to the best. Now, there's not a lot of bad here. I don't think actually anything is bad. I think everything in the first year is great. Later years, not so great. At the bottom of my list, again, it is not because it's not a good toy. Everything was good. But I gotta put Switchblade. I'm gonna put Switchblade at the bottom of my list of the vehicles. And here's why. Switchblade is not really giving me the M.A.S.K vibe. It doesn't fit the bill. Somebody missed the assignment. They didn't get the assignment right. Because the idea of M.A.S.K is that you can hide out in public, right? It looks like you're in like, well, it looks like a cool little SUV, and then a turret comes out and it becomes armor and you start shooting shit. That would be incredibly useful. You're thinking about like now, if you're a criminal, if you're trying to create some sort of criminal organization, you want to be like, you go in a cool little you know, incognito mode, and all of a sudden missiles and machine guns are popping out, and you have an armored car. You would really be able to do a lot of damage. But Switchblade doesn't do that. Switchblade transforms from a jet plane that doesn't look like any jet planes into a helicopter that doesn't look like any helicopters. So what's weird, it doesn't really do the thing. It's not really like hiding, right? Which is illusion is the ultimate weapon, is like the M.A.S.K motto. So it's not really a M.A.S.K thing. It's just, I mean, it could be cool, and it's cool in a battle to go from like airplane to jet, because you could like blow it up, and then you know, they both have their uses, but it's not a really good like hiding vehicle. Now, is it cool? Sure, it's absolutely cool. It's got a little missile that comes out of the bottom. It's little guns come out of the sides of the helicopter bit. But what's the hiding part? Are you hiding as a helicopter? You're hiding as a jet plane? I don't know. I also say Miles Mayhem is not the greatest villain. I think maybe someday I'll do a ranking of the greatest cartoon villains, and I wouldn't put Miles on there. He's like, he gives me Wilford Brimley vibes. You know, he's sort of like evil grandpa, really. Like, you know, he's got an evil grandpa energy, which is kind of cool. It makes him kind of cool. And in the little mini comic, he was really badass because he's like murdered Matt Tracker's brother. But then in the cartoon, he's just kind of goofy. Almost all of the cartoon villains in the 80s were all kind of goofy and not that threatening. But he just really, like, aesthetically, he just looks like Joseph Stalin or Wilford Brimley, and he just isn't giving me the coolest of bad guys. But that's a Warfield different. That's a whole other story. Next in line, we have Condor. Again, like, there's no bad here, so it's just by nature of being, you know, my least exciting thing in the line, it's gonna come at the bottom because everything else is awesome. And Condor is awesome. Condor comes with Brad Turner, who's one of the coolest characters in the M.A.S.K universe. He's a rock star, and he often has to leave like his gig right in the middle of the gig in order to go and like fight Venom. Now it's a motorcycle. Motorcycles are always a blast. Just one of the, I think, you know, every toy has a motorcycle because it's so much fun. It's an easy, quick little ride. You zoom in on your motorcycle, you leap over shit, you shoot stuff, you know, drop grenades, whatever. And this turns into a helicopter. So this is very cool, unleashes a gun. And also he's got this, his mask is Hocus Pocus, which is allows him to create illusions, which is kind of fun. It does lack the weapons of of some of the other vehicles, and therefore is not my favorite, although Brad Turner is like high up in the M.A.S.K universe as characters. Next in line, we're going to have Gator, and I love this thing. This is an awesome toy. There's something, and I think this is one of the things about M.A.S.K that really works. The action features were incredibly satisfying, right? So it's like other things had action features like He-Man or whatever, which were cool. They were okay, you know, and sometimes they were amazing, like, you know. But what I think I really love about M.A.S.K is almost like a fidget kind of thing going on, that there was something, like some of them were very satisfying. Like the button just had a very satisfying feel. The action mechanisms, the engineering was great, and so and I think this is the case with Gator, because Gator, you know, it's a little Jeep, and you hit a little button, and the Gator opens up like Gator's mouth and ejects the boat, and that ejection, like action, was so satisfying. I just remembered the feel of that. And then it also has an ejection mechanism that launches like a giant ass depth charge, which is kind of fun. And the Gator boat itself is like a sleek, really fast boat. It's got a little gun on the top, and you have Dusty Hayes as the rider, and his mask is Backlash, which shoots a beam, right? So that was kind of a cool mask. And the little boat has like a freeze cannon. You can make it whatever kind of cannon you wanted. They're making freeze cannons in M.A.S.K for some reason. There's a freeze cannon. The little roll bar has this like laser gun on the top, so it's heavily armed. But it's all about that satisfaction of pressing that damn button and having that ship shoot out. Just so cool. Next we have Firecracker. This is Hondo McLean with Blaster 1, and he's actually my favorite M.A.S.K character. He's a history teacher. I just like the idea that he's a history teacher, and you're kind of like bored, and you just hate your history teacher, and then he leaves and he goes saves the world. But I love this thing. First of all, so it has like a mechanism where you hit a button and it pops up on like a spring and reveals like cannons. It's got like back cannons, which I think are freeze cannons, and then two cannons like pop out of the front of the gun. And I love Hondo McLean because he also has the second year best vehicle, Hurricane. So good, like cool looking car, tank thing. He's just one of the coolest. The suspension, the idea, it's going to get a little height, I guess. I don't really know why that would help you in battle. I don't know that it does, but to me, you know, what makes this vehicle such a winner is on the back of the vehicle you have a little motorcycle that detaches, which is so cool. Just even though it doesn't really come any weapons, but you detach that motorcycle, you ride along. But the number one thing, this is just an absolute, it makes zero sense, is the back tire. You hit a button, that back tire flies out, and blades pop out. Spinning blade tire is so cool, and again, it worked. Like, I think it's one of the things that really makes the engineering was great. The mechanisms were so good. You hit that, and it's one of those things, you would hit that button 1,000 times. You're just hitting that button. That spinning tires flying out, it's cutting heads off, it's just taking tires out, it's derailing shit. It is that is such a cool weapon. Just love this thing. And he's got a little Cyclops look to him, with the blaster helmet. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's one of those. Okay, we can't rank this because it's not a vehicle, but I figure I just got to talk about it in the middle for the hell of it. It wouldn't be fair to rank this thing against the other things. Boulder Hill. What an incredible play set. First of all, you hit a button and the whole thing becomes armored. You have gas tanks that can freeze weapons. Of course, you have like the standard, every playset in the world had to have a trapdoor that drops you into a jail. It's necessary, absolutely necessary. But the number one thing of Boulder Hill, which is just so cool and again so satisfying, is for the boulder to pop off, revealing that cannon, and have that boulder roll off and just take out a tank or something. Really an amazing play set. I do have mine to this day. I am pulling it out. Will be behind me pretty soon. And I love that thing. Okay, I'm putting bad guys kind of high. I know I like bad guys. What are you going to do? And maybe this is surprisingly high, but Piranha with Sly Racks. I just love this thing. First of all, again, motorcycles are so fun because any small vehicle or just easy to destroy, easy to imagine a motorcycle riding over things, shooting over things. I love Sly Racks as a character. To me, he's got Dreadnought energy. He's kind of a scumbag. He's got the stiletto mask, which can forms darts out of dust particles, so it can unlimited darts, shooting darts out at you. And to me, I was like, sometimes the masks get like superhero-y and not as excited about those masks, whereas something like that seems like more realistic. I kind of prefer my mask to be like, it's just covert ops vehicles and thinking about it in terms of like, no, there's no magic here. He's just using something as a voice-activated weapon because he's got to drive. So why not have a voice-activated weapon shooting out, unlimited darts out at your enemy? But for me, like, the biggest thing to me, why I love this thing, is that the satisfying ejection of the little pod. It's got pod shoots out and becomes this little dangerous submarine with lasers on it. That to me was so much fun. Such a great little piece. Next in line, this might be blasphemy to some people, but I'm going to put Thunderhawk. Okay? And again, yeah, it's iconic. It is like the car of M.A.S.K. It is the iconic car, and it is awesome. Now, we all know it ain't gonna fly. It ain't gonna fly. Your little wing doors on your little your car ain't gonna fly. They're gonna make you fly. I can get over that. It's a cartoon. All right, and it's got some laser guns on the side. It did have a very satisfying missile mechanism that clicked, dropped little bombs down. It was super fun, and also just that satisfying click when the gull wing doors pop open.
I'm going up.
And the thing doesn't fly because it wouldn't fly. But yeah, so cool. I gave it to my son when he was a baby. He got really obsessed with it. He called it his money card, and he would just like store dimes in it for some reason. I don't know why. But he loved it. And as of right now, I don't know where it is. And then of course you got Mad Tracker with Spectrum, the mask, which is an amazing, it's like the Swiss Army knife of mask. You can do anything, you can fly with it, you can see different spectrum of light, you can shoot laser beams, you can do whatever he wants at any time with Spectrum. I don't know why everybody else gets a shitty mask and can do one thing. Matt gets the one good mask and he can do like 150 things. That does not seem fair to me, Matt. So I don't know. But whatever, it's an awesome toy. Number 2, we have the Jackhammer with Cliff Dagger Torch Mask. Now, Cliff Dagger, the big brute of the Venom organization, he's a massive guy. He's really stupid. In the cartoon, he was the dumbest. He was the dumbest person in Venom, just an absolute moron. But he had a torch mask, which has a really great look to it. It's just a great look. But the idea that he was shooting flames out from the top of the mask, that to me worked. As again, it's like imagining these guys as covert ops. They need weapons that they can operate while driving, so they have masks, so he could shoot out a flamethrower. But I just love this toy. If Switchblade is the antithesis of what M.A.S.K should be, in that it doesn't operate as a covert weapon, this is the epitome of what M.A.S.K is, or what Venom is. It looks like a regular old Ford Bronco, right? Was that what OJ drove? Should OJ have had if he had a M.A.S.K, he would have got away from them cops. That's right. But it looks like a regular Ford Bronco. And then you press a button, and all of a sudden, front leaps up, covers the shield. So this is the thing about M.A.S.K that they understood that G.I. Joe does not, that you need armor. You got to be armored. If you're going to battle, you don't do what the Triple T does, where you have the person completely exposed the whole time. You put some armor on the guy with a gun. So the armor plate just goes up over the windshield, protecting anybody inside. And then the back comes up and becomes this gun turret. This crazy ass gun turret. Front grill drops down, guns appear. To me, this is just like, this is exactly what M.A.S.K should be. This would be really useful. Like, you're a criminal, you go in, it looks like a Ford Bronco. No, it's an armored tank with a gun turret. That would really work. So to me, this is the epitome of what M.A.S.K is. But the number one vehicle would absolutely have to be, and I think you could have different opinions on this list. Anywhere else, you can have different opinions. Maybe put Thunderhawk higher. Maybe you don't dislike Switchblade as much as I do. Maybe Condor is, if you have anything other than Rhino as your number one, you're crazy. You're crazy town. Because this is not only one of the coolest things ever made, maybe the coolest vehicle ever made. I'm going to go on a limb and say it might be the coolest vehicle of all time. This thing is unbelievable. Yeah, I'm saying even better than G.I. Joe shit. This thing is so cool. With so many hidden weapons. Back pulls apart, you got a little computer station, a little ramp. That missile, that was one of those things. Again, the satisfaction. You hit that button, that missile flies right out on an arc and just devastates, the enemy. It really works really well. I think that's one of the keys here. It works really well. Similar. Pop down the little, the pipes. So you got two cannons aimed at your enemy, but that battering ram was everything. You hit that button, that battering ram comes out, and you're crushing, knocking over Venom vehicles, destroying things, smashing them. But probably my absolute 100% favorite piece of the puzzle here is the ejection seat. That thing works so well. It was so satisfying to put somebody gets in there, you don't want them, and you hit a button and they would fling out. It's an ejection seat that definitely kills you, right? If you're in the ejection seat of the Rhino and you don't know what's coming, you do not survive that thing. That would throw the figure 20 feet in action figure scale. Your body is just dashed against the rocks. So good. You get a little vehicle in the back, pops out, the three little cannons on it. And then you got Bruce Sato, he's one of my favorite characters there too. He had Lifter, which is a really great mask. And then the one thing I will say that sucks about the Rhino is your other guy is Matt Tracker with his other mask, which sucks. Which is like the logo mask, which makes no sense. Why is not Spectrum the logo mask, right? So it's the one you see on the logo. First of all, if you're Matt Tracker, you're going into battle, you're like, should I take Spectrum that can do anything? Or should I take this one that shoots little flashlights so I can blind somebody? You take Spectrum, dumbass. You take Spectrum every time. Don't take the other mask that just take a flash. If you really want to blind people, take a flashlight with you, just shine in their eyes. It's the same thing. You take Spectrum all the time, Matt. Stupid. That's my only qualm. But again, the Rhino, maybe the best vehicle. I don't know. Might be the best vehicle of all time. Probably not. Maybe there's a G.I. Joe vehicle. If I really stretch, there's probably a G.I. Joe vehicle I like better. Killer Whale, maybe. Rolling Thunder, maybe. I guess. But just for your money, that thing is unbelievable. You can get one right now. Loyal subjects are selling it. I have mine, but I might pick it up to get a new version. Why not? That's my take. What's your take? Now, if you ever wondered how the M.A.S.K team powers their M.A.S.K, I have the answer to that right here in my Mythology of M.A.S.K video. Check it out. I also make fun of the cartoon in this video right here.